I came from Puerto Rico and I wanted to live in a big city, but I also didn't want to give up my connection with Puerto Rico. So my first connection with the center, the way I heard about the center was me looking up organizations where I could learn to play the rhythms of Puerto Rico, like for example, bomba, plena, and also the music of the Caribbean in general. And I think that being in that space really made me very passionate about it. And then they embraced me immediately, so I got hooked.
Bueno, vamos a darle otro aplauso que se escucha en Puerto Rico.
The mission of SRBCC is continue to grow the opportunities and the talent of Afro-Caribbean musicians, especially those that come from Puerto Rico, through the enhancement of the understanding of the culture that is behind specific cultural expressions like bomba, plena. We have to make sure that all of those expressions are still alive and all of those expressions are being taught and understood, not only by the immediate community, but the Hispanic community, the community of color at large.
It was very important for the organization to continue giving that access to the younger generation of Puerto Ricans and to people in Chicago in general. Constantly bringing some of the best minds from the Caribbean and Puerto Rico in music, in literature, in politics. Segundo Ruiz Belvis is the name of an abolitionist. Him and Ramón Emeterio Betances were the leaders of the abolitionist movement in Puerto Rico. Unfortunately, this is one of the few places in the world that is named after Segundo Ruiz Belvis. And that tells you how connected Chicagoans are with the history of Puerto Rico. Historically, Segundo Ruiz Belvis Cultural Center has always focused on arts and culture and education. Afro-Caribbean arts and culture became a way for us to communicate about education, to communicate about the arts in general, and to communicate about the struggles of Puerto Ricans in the island and Puerto Ricans here. That's a very unique perspective that Segundo Ruiz Belvis was very interested in from the beginning. And it was born out of activists. So Segundo Ruiz Belvis from the very beginning started seeking out some of the great musicians, some of the great folklorists to come here and teach workshops. That created the conditions for there to be programs in Afro-Caribbean arts and culture in Chicago, not just at Segundo Ruiz Belvis, but in many other organizations, and putting Afro-Puerto Rican arts and culture or Afro-Puerto Rican music in some of the biggest stages in Chicago.
I think what makes SRBCC unique, it's all of the conglomerate of people that makes alive in here. There's an intentionality and there's a determination from everyone that is involved in the organization to make things happen and to take that brick by brick, tile by tile, and making sure that we are building up, not only for what we have envisioned, but for what the people have told us that they would like to see and they would like to be part of.
We take pride in the work that we do to develop young talent in Afro-Caribbean arts and culture. We have continued our educational programs and our apprenticeships with young people. And then now there's a path for them because the young people that are really interested can be hired by us through apprenticeships, through internships, and also through straight up professional musicianship. La Cantera is a great example because they get paid to play just like any other professional musician. They have monthly residencies, they have exchange programs, trips.
We do have a lot of fun when we play. It's more of like a hangout just because we've known each other for so long. So for us, it's like we all kind of listen to each other. We were all previously in the After School Matters program, and we just kind of started playing together.
La Cantera is a community of musicians through different generations coming together, playing music.
I just feel like it's more of like a family friendship vibe that we have going with each other. And that's just what makes it fun, and that's kind of how we let out our creativity.
We do a lot of back and forth. We bring in a lot of Puerto Rican artists to SRBCC. We've got some performers that come here every year, every other year, because there's such a vibrant community here that supports artists in Puerto Rico. And then also likewise, a lot of our bands and groups and youth bands go to Puerto Rico to perform. We really love that partnership, that cross-collaboration, being able to go back to our roots and to the community back home.
Every time I come here, it's always like coming back to family. But definitely this time around, I'm super excited because we're presenting Bomba in a new light. And the main purpose of Bomba is the creation of communities of support. It is amazing to be here sharing other subtleties of our baggage of the reggae scene, mixed up with the Bomba, so it's fresh.
So without further ado, I'd like to introduce to you Misael González y el batey botánico directamente de Puerto Rico.
Ay, qué pena, ay, qué dolor. Se rompió el tambor, se me rompió el tambor. Ay, qué pena, ay, qué dolor. Ay, qué pena, ay, qué dolor. Ay, qué sano, que le ponga el corazón.
Being from the Caribbean, being Latino, being Hispanic, being people of color, is to express ourselves the best way in any way that we can. This is a space that allows people to channel all of their energy and all of their needs.
Segundo Ruiz Belvis Cultural Center is a space to connect. Aquí, Somos. Here is where we can experience who we truly are. Here is where we can connect. Here is where we can be ourselves. Here is where we learn about the other. It goes a little bit farther than here we are.